Welcome in, y'all. It is Bootcamp, officially. Happy Wednesday. Look at that. Hope you enjoyed your nice little brief vacation, aka the holiday weekend. And I hope you're ready to get back to work. And I hope you're in the swing of things because we are going to get right to it. Now, before we get started, remember all you're going to need is a mat, some water. You might need maybe like a clock nearby or a timer. We're never going to ask you to have equipment, and it's not necessary to have the clock or the timer, but it might be helpful with some of the things that you do. For example, timing your dog and telling her that she has 30 seconds before we're going to have to move her from hanging out in the only place in the room that she wants to be, which is on the same place that I need to be. The next thing I do want to say is when programming, I also want to take into consideration like what we're able to work on and improve with just body weight. And because the backside of our body is really hard to do with just body weight stuff, again, no equipment, I've put some focus into that today. So we're going to focus on the backside of our body. We're going to switch things up and how we do them. I got my phone in my hand because obviously we're going to be using this for our timer here. But what we're going to do is focus on a 5-minute warm up where we're essentially going to be stuck in our quad position and working on the backside or posterior chain of our body, right? So we're going to spend 5 minutes on 5 moves. That's a minute per. And then we'll take it to a couple blocks as we usually do. All right, so let me go ahead and show you the first one, and then you can go ahead and start with me when I set that timer down and ready to go. Thank you, Hammy. Excuse me, my love. All right, so get to your mat and let's get familiar with the quad position first. I want to teach you what that looks like. So remember, we're going to go toes down. Why do we always engage our toes? Well, one, they're there for a reason, right? They should be used. But two, they help add a little extra layer of stability to the way that you move, right? So keep them pushed down, knees underneath hips. That way you have that same width that you would as if you're standing. And then you want to go hands down. Remember, spread the fingers and you have the base of your palms underneath your chest and shoulders. So this is a quad position, tucking that chin. Okay, what we're going to do is go to a quad scap push-up. So again, we're just going to go and push the chest away and then try and bring the shoulder blades together. If there's a little bit of movement and compensation from other areas, for example, maybe bend at the elbows, maybe you kind of shift back a little bit or forward. Again, that's not a terrible problem, but it's something to think about as you're working. So let's go ahead and start there. Quad scap push-up. We take off in 3, 2, and 1. We have begun. Let's go. You got a minute on the clock. And again, we're just going up, not very far, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Quad scap push-up. Breathe through your movement. Seek for that extra inch. Just readjusting my pants here. Or 2, or half of an inch. I mean, whatever you can get of just extra range of motion. Again, that's our goal here, especially in a warm-up block, is just, seeking how far we can go in specific movement patterns safely, but also turning on those muscles in those movement patterns is getting a lot of the posterior chain. We're going to go into a cat-cow next. I'm going to switch up my grip a little bit. Wrist is bugging me. That's just me listening to my body. Still not fully there with that range of motion quite just yet. That's okay. We got 5 seconds. Cat-cow, remember, is going to be the full spine from head to tailbone. We're going to go into extension first in 3, 2, 1. Round out the back. So same position. Didn't have to move. All you got to do now is just change the pattern. And again, we're incorporating the entire spine here. So again, as you tuck the chin and try and round the back, again, you're just getting global spinal movement, right? Everything in the spine is going through flexion and extension. Take a breath. Take your time. Should feel good. We're going to work a little bit of a rotation from one arm next, and then we'll switch arms after that. A little bit of a shoulder car from this quad position in 30 seconds. Thank you, Hammy. See this girl? All she wants to do is be near you and hang out. That's it. Thank you, my sweet. 15 seconds. Good. Breathe in each end range. Go ahead and stay right there. Let's elevate right arm. And let's start our car. So we're going to go ahead and start palm up, arms straight. Rotate at the top. We've done these before. No gear, get up. Bring it around town all the way till you end up at your hip and keep rotating that hand. So notice the palm of my hand is now rotated to the outside of the body, right? And then I'm just going to go pull back and go in the same reverse order. Taking my time, keeping that quad position. Super important, right? It's just finding this position and holding on to it. One more time. Arm straight, palm up. Rotate. Spin it around. Bring it all the way down to the hip. And again, you're searching for as much range of motion as possible without compensating everything else. Notice I'm doing a weird body movement, but again, you're going to try and keep the rest of your body stiff Well, the shoulder does what it needs to do. 15 seconds until we switch sides. One more. Take your time. No need to rush through it. The slower you go, the more likely it is you'll be able to explore new ranges. Good. 5 seconds. We switch in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're just going other arm now. Other arm. So set that quad position. Readjust that right hand underneath that right shoulder. And again, you don't need to move from anywhere, right? We're staying in that quad. We're going to use this position a lot today in our next block. And it's good to warm up in the patterns and positions that we're going to use. Because again, there's no way to be exact, but this is as close as you can get to being exact in terms of setting yourself up for success in your workout. Take your time, breathe through it, keep everything stiff. Excuse me, Hammy. She's got a couple of sweaters. I think you guys saw this one last week, but she got a new one. I'll show you maybe at the end of class. Take your time. 15 seconds, and then we're going to go into a bird dog. Same position, starting in that quad. We're going to get that core activated a little bit more with some contralateral movement and trying to get some opposite hands. All right, so as we're here, reset your quad. Bird dog, you've probably done it before, but we go in 3, 2, 1. I want you to extend arm and leg, then raise to the height of the back. Hold for a second, define the repetition, come back down, reset. Typically, a lot of people tend to overextend in the spine. Keep that neutrality, right? Once you start there, that's where I want you to stay. And then as you extend, again, try not to elevate too high. We don't need to take it so high that we encourage extension at the spine. I'm feeling that in my back, right? So again, go slowly, and that's typically the error with this movement as people try and go really high. Just focus on keeping tension in the body, right? Reaching your fingers super far, pulling your toe towards your shin, and then squeezing the shoulder blade to your spine and the glute as best as you can. If you do that, there's no way you're going to overextend, right? You really turn on those muscles, so it kind of prevents it from happening. Last one here. And then we go and shut it down in 5, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. All right, heart rate's not super high up. That's fine. Grab a little bit of water, even though you feel like you may not need it. Again, always good to hydrate in little bursts as you work through your workout. All right, so obviously, it's kind of alluded to what we're going to do in our next block, which I've titled All Fours. But we're going to go ahead and try and work with a bear position or a quad position. Now, the bear is that quad position, but with knees elevated. So it's making the movement, or the position, wow, a little too tough. My bad. And you're going to try and hold that as long as you can, right? Up to a minute. So we call it an AM tap, if you will. Just everything is always in acronyms in fitness. Now, once you come out of that bear hold, you're going to go through 3 exercises that are going to work, again, right and left of the body. So you're going to finish 5 reps per side of each of these 3 moves. So I'm going to show you the movements first, and then we'll get to the block itself, and it'll be a nice little 8-minute block. Thank you, Hammy. She knew I needed some space. All right, so bear position. Go back to your quad. And then once you're there, you're just going to elevate the knees slightly off the ground, right? Now this right here, right, doesn't seem like a lot. Over time, you're going to feel that, okay? Lots of core. Pull your belly to your spine. Pull your head towards your back. And just hold your position here. Now, once you come out of that bear hold, again, you're like, I got to drop, or it hits a minute, right? We're going to go and take it to that quad again. Now from here, we're going to focus on the back side of the body. So we're going to go quad fly. You're going to take right arm, elevate, pull, pinch, and squeeze the shoulder blade to your spine. Yes, we don't have any weight. Do you need it? Probably not. Really squeeze here. You're going to feel these muscles. They're very small, and they're not as active as the front ones. Again, typically, it's hard to get this area of the body as you work with no external resistance. So that's what we're going to focus on. You're going to go 5 on the right side, 5 on the left. From there, take it to a row. Pull, pinch, and squeeze the shoulder blade to your spine, but think about the direction of the elbow. Notice I'm not pulling way up here. And see how my shoulder's starting to rear into my ear? You want to pull back behind you, right? See how that arm ends up right by my hip? That's where you want to row. Okay, next one. We're going to take a leg lift. So I'm just going to extend one leg. Sorry, Hammy, if you're back there. And then you're just going to go ahead and raise. Now, remember, we just did this. So if your back is set up well and you squeeze that glute, you shouldn't really go very high. All right. Again, heart rate's not going to come up too much. If you need an option, the easiest way to regress these movements is to just change the range of motion. Don't go so far. But remember, working at a slow speed, super important to the way that you turn on these muscles. All right. So bear hold as much time as you can, up to 1 minute. This is where your timer comes in handy if you need that, because obviously we may not always work at the same time. And then you'll go 5 reps per side of the quad fly, the quad row, and the quad leg lift. And then you'll go back on your own to the bear hold. All right, here we go, team. Let's take this thing up. 8-minute block. We start in 3, 2, and 1. Bear hold up to 1 minute. Let's go. Just like a plank, you're focusing on turning on muscles. And just really, again, back to that word I used earlier, global, right? Everything is trying to be turned on. Everything is trying to be used here. Now I'm going to take it to about 30 seconds, and I'll bring it back down to that quad position. Feeling my quads here. Feeling my forearms a little bit, my lats actually. Okay, there's that 30-second mark. So I'm going to go ahead and come down, even though I could probably go a little bit longer. All right, totally fine. But I want to explain those movements again. So remember, from a quad position, toes are engaged, knees underneath, hands underneath. And remember, I want you to work from here if you can with that flat hand position. And then you're just going to go ahead and work that fly. Really focus on no extra movement from the body. Just the arm shoulder blade complex. Finish 5, switch sides. Good. Once you finish your 5 flies per side, you go 5 rows. Remember, elbow driven towards the back side of your body, but forearm kind of near the hip. Again, it might not feel like much in the beginning. Hold and squeeze at the top. Really turn on those muscles. Build that mind to muscle connection. And then switch to the other side when you finish your 5. Keep that quad. Just checking to see if Hammy's still behind me. She's quiet now. She's right by my feet. Crazy girl. All right. Extend one leg. I'm going to go right leg. Sorry, my dude. Thank you. And then from here, remember, leg lift. Try not to let the spine go into extension. Just glutes here. Awesome. Switch. Sorry, Amy. I noticed my spine's getting a little out of whack here, so I had to readjust, get a little bit more neutral. Whoo, left glute is on fire. Nice. All right. So 2 minutes down. We've got plenty of time left, 6 minutes. It's a slow block in regards to intensity, but right, it's hard to hold these things, and it's hard to move well, and it's hard to do it correctly and feel in the right spots. Let's do it again. Back to the bear hold. I'm going underneath. Let's try and take it to a full minute this time. Keep those knees close to the body, underneath the hips, close to the ground, just not touching. Coming up on that 30-second mark, we got this. Not easy. This is where our thoughts come into play. The mind starts to speak to us. Yes, yes. Coming up on that 45-second mark. Breathe your way through it. Readjust your body as you go through this. Yes, it's getting tougher. Yes, this is the part where we got to push. Come on. Almost at that minute mark. You got 10 seconds. That's 5. Boom. Nice job. All right, 1 minute now. Go right into it. Right, quad fly, 5 per side, quad row, and that quad leg lift. But I want to make sure as you're going through this, so again, keep working. Don't just stare at me. As we're just being mindful of the areas that were being worked as we're in this bear position. So for me, quadriceps, again, massive, massive burn here, probably because I did leg day yesterday. Also, I'm getting a lot in my shoulders, holding up my weight. So one thing that tells me is, okay, I'm getting probably general areas that I want, but if I were to able to try and turn those shoulders back and down a little bit more, might be able to turn on my lats, which would then help me take a little bit of a brunt off the shoulders. Again, just something to be mindful of, something you pay attention to as you go into your next round. Again, you guys are probably done already with the movements. I'm going to get on those. If you are, feel free to go back into another round. We have officially passed that halfway mark. Still plenty of time left. Onto my rows. Awesome. Tammy, always hanging out in the same place, huh? Okay, let's go to my leg lift. Excuse me. She's so silly. And let's engage the other side. Left. Now notice when I'm doing this, I'm pulling my toe towards my shin. It's going to help take away the calf. But I'm setting my leg straight first on the ground. From there, squeeze my butt. And again, just try and lift. But listen to what my body's trying to tell me in terms of, hey, this is where you need to stop. Boom, there it is. All right, team, 5.5 minutes in. That means we have about 2.5 minutes left. Let's see if we can get through one more round of this bear hold, one more round of these exercises before that 8-minute timer is up. I'm going to try and switch it to my palms here for this bear hold. I think a little bit of added extra isometric hold might help a little bit in that resurgence of the wrist. Let's see what we got. Whew. It's not going to give me a lot of time, but I think it's helping. Hold, be in your position, love it, own it. Remember, there's much more things that could be tougher than this. All you got to do is spend a little bit of time in this and you're improving on making yourself a little bit better. 1% better every day, that's the goal, right? Breathe. Whoo, wrist is feeling it. It's a nice stretch though. Breathe your way through it. Be in control. Nice. All right. Well, I took some inventory last time. Remember, I was telling you about how if I could pull my shoulders back a little bit more as you go into your quad movements. Again, don't wait for me. And turning on those lats as you pull the shoulders back, right? I tried that. Now, tougher to do when I went to that flat hand. But shoulders, we're not taking as much of the brunt. So remember, if you're just here and not thinking so much about your shoulders, great. You have good hand position. You're able to load the body really well into these anchor points. Right, but if we can start to just pull these back a little bit, just kind of like how we did in our quad scat push-up, right? Bam, lats are now turned on, and maybe we took a little bit of that heat off the shoulders. All right, we got 45 seconds. Team, I got to get to my exercises. Maybe you're on another round of that hold, but no matter what, if you are on a hold, how about you hold it for the last, what, we got 40 here? Let me finish out these moves. Let me see if I can get around it. Great. 30 seconds. Hold it. Come on. Pull that elbow back. Forearm should be near the waistline, right? Try not to let that shoulder elevate into your ear. I got some leg lifts to finish. And I got, yes. 3, 2, and 1. And just like that, I was able to finish all of my exercise in that quad position. Awesome job, y'all. Again, heart rate's not jumping up super high, but that's part of what boot camp is. Remember, you never know what's going to happen. All right, so we are done with our all fours block, and we have about 10 minutes left. So we're going to take it to a quick, let me see here, 4.5 minute block, super fast, all right? We're going to do it with just core, but we're going to call it a cumulative core block here. So you might need a surface that you're able to kind of slide the foot a little bit on, right? You don't want it to be super rough. So if maybe you have shoes on, or maybe you have your bare foot to a hard surface and it's not sliding super well, you might want to get some socks or a towel or something like that, just for at least for a couple of these movements. We're going to be super aware of what our lower back does when our legs start to move, because typically that's usually what a lot of these exercises are to get the core active, right? So I'm going to fold my mat up in half. And we're going to go ahead and just start right away. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take this mat. Let's adjust it so I can lay over here. Perfect. And once you're laying all the way down, I want you to focus. Here we go. Got a good position on your lower back when you lay down. So when I lay down, obviously we have a natural curve. Okay, I want you to try and press that down. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling my belly button to my spine. And then you can also tuck the chin and slightly elevate the shoulders. So that flexion or extension of the thoracic spine, the upper shoulder area, helps me push that lower curve of the lumbar spine, the lower back, into the ground. Now let's start with knees bent here. What we're going to do is a single leg extension. So super easy. It might not be too tough. You can even add a little bit of a pillow behind your ears, if you will. Tammy's going crazy on the stairs. And you're just going to extend one leg. See, this is where the slide comes through. And then bring it back in. Extend the other leg. Bring it back in. So let's go ahead and work on that. We're going to start the timer now. The next movements will be easy to adjust. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and up with the head. Turn on the lumbar spine. Press the core into the ground. Single leg. Right leg, extend. Left leg, extend. Good. If you need a rest, remember, you can always lay the head down. I just want you to be mindful of this position. There she goes. The drama queen herself, Miss Hammy. Making sure everybody knows that we're working out, huh? Good. You got 15 seconds. Next, we're going to take it to a double leg extension. So they may not go as far, but again, you're trying to keep the core active, no compromise. As both legs now straighten out. Again, drive that heel down. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Heels out. Turn on that core. Heels out again. Go slow. Yes, there we go. Need a breather? Again, come take it. It's all good. You can even try it from this position. And then again, just be mindful, okay, like what is my core actually doing when I don't lift my head? Am I able to engage it? Am I able to press that thing down as I extend? And luckily for me, I've done this a few times, kind of know what it feels like, able to do so. 15 seconds. Next one. We're going to take it to a knee drive. So we're going to bring the knee in from this bent leg position, all right? Keep turning this on. Make sure it's pressed. You can even check with the hands underneath. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, so now bring in, changing what the legs are doing, but keeping the core exactly the same. Good evening, Chad. We got 30 seconds left. We just started this one. Woo! Again, we're just accumulating these movement patterns and putting them together. Go ahead and switch to the other side. I realized I was doing one leg, which is fine. We got good time here. And next, we're going to take it in less than 10 seconds to double knee drive. All right, so we're going to go double leg knee drive. And again, if you need to rest in between, that's fine. All right, you can even set the toes down. I'm pulling my toes towards my shin because it helps me keep those legs engaged. Let's go and switch it in 3, 2, 1. So both knees in, come back down. So this is getting pretty difficult now, right? Again, I'm thinking about how well I'm able to hold this structure as I go through it. So the speed is important as well. If you go faster, there's more of a likely chance for you to just get out of it, right? Now again, you can hold. This might be easier for you. Some acrobatics going on over here. Noel and Hammy are getting their exercise in. Love it. We got less than 10 seconds. We're going to take it next to a straight leg race. We're going to alternate legs. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, straight leg position. This is the toughest. Let's go ahead and again engage that core. Raise one leg. Doesn't matter how high you do it. Again, what you're noticing and focusing on is what is the midsection, sides, the back doing, and what is the structure like in comparison to the ground. You can see where we're going to go next, I'm sure. Hey! Love animals, don't you? 15 seconds. Good, I'm going to hold that head out again for a little bit of support. All right, here we go. Double leg. I'm getting a massive burn now. We take it up in 3, 2, 1. Engage. Both legs up. Both legs down. You can lay them all the way down. Also, laying them all the way down gives you a chance to reset, right? So again, I'm going to come back in. Raise both legs. Yes. 30 seconds. That's all you got left in today. Tuck the chin. Reset the core. Bam. Pull those legs up. Awesome. We got 15, y'all. I'm going to go with the reset again. I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to test myself to see if I can lay my head down and be able to keep that lumbar spine. Remember, check with the hands if you need to. All right, my friends. Let's get one more rep in. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and shut it down. All right. Again, not a crazy sweat, but I'm feeling something for sure. Cumulative core. That was our last block. All fours right before that. And then again, we were working back side of the body. So if you're feeling some tension, head, neck, and shoulders, and again, anything on the back side, pay attention to that. Maybe as you go through some cool down later on tonight, right? Massage gun, stretching. We're going to go through some stretching right now. So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the abdominal. We've done this before. We're going to go and take it to a cobra. So as you're laying down, lay on your belly. And then let's just start elbows underneath shoulders, right? Let's move that water bottle so you guys get a better view. And then from here, you're just going to breathe. Now you can influence the spine and turn it into a little bit more extension just by looking up. Now, if you're feeling like, okay, coach, this is not doing anything for me, keep your hands right where they are. Press through your hands. Elevate the elbows off the ground. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Okay, now we're getting something, right? Coach, still not getting anything. Well, you're super flexible. You're going to go ahead and move those hands a little bit closer. What I want you to be mindful of is keeping the hips down, keeping the shoulders relaxed, not letting the intensity of the stretch and seeking for more take you away from good body position. Breathe big into your belly. Be able to expand it, right? That is tissue that can expand. And as that tissue expands, you're going to feel a stretch, right? Similar to the stretch you'll feel in other places. Love that. Good. Let's come out of this nice and slow. Awesome. And let's go ahead and end up in a shoulder internally rotated position. We've done this before while we're laying on our back. Let's go ahead and do it while we're laying down. So face down and slowly take those arms and bring them into a internally rotated position, aka hand behind the back. And you're just trying to reach as far as you can across. And then from here, pull the elbows up. Be active. So remember, a stretch doesn't always have to be just a relaxed position, but sometimes it can be an active position. And you're just trying to turn on muscles, reintroduce movement, do something, be active as I relax, and then come back up for another pull. But again, just showing the muscles a little bit of love. This is not intense, right, team? But it doesn't always have to be super relaxed. Good, nice job. Come out of that. There we go. So a little bit of spine and core stretch, a little bit of shoulder activation. Now let's just go ahead and take it to a kneeling position. Close the eyes if you'd like. Take a deep breath. And then from here, I'm just going to drop the chin down. Roll the head around in a big circle, listening if I have any pain, aches. Bring it around the other direction. Now, bring the head up to neutral. Let's take a few breaths. Keep those eyes closed for me. Inhale through the nose. Out through your mouth. Good. Slowly start to open the eyes and bring consciousness back to the mind. Perfect. All right, Samson, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this one. I actually really, really liked this workout, and not just because it felt successful, but also because it just felt like we were actually doing things and turning things on and being able to attack areas of the body that we aren't normally able to get. Remember, backside of the body, hard to do with just body weight, but we did it. So congratulations. Remember, this is going to be boot camp. We're going to keep that schedule pushing forward. Tomorrow, no good get up at 8:30 a.m. If you have any questions, remember, feel free to drop it in the comments. Share these videos. It's all good. We'll see you guys next time. Later, Samsung.